Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Always proud to have you here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and appreciate you being here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And always on wakeupcalldt.com, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, at CallDT on Twitter, and at wakeupcall_DT on Instagram. And for all of you that have been on the show before, you're like, Dan, I don't need this information. I know. So it's a little inside joke. Okay, so I have this thing that I share. I have this thing that I share with my listeners, and I challenge you. Okay, so if you haven't heard this before, this is a new challenge, and your challenge is that you can give me, now remember, this is a family show. This is a family show. But you can give me a word or a phrase that I have to use in the show. And I'm opening that up this week. Okay, so you got to give me a word or a phrase that I have to use in the show. And keep it tasteful, but I have to use it. So the one that I was given, now I'm still accepting one for this week, but one over the weekend was the statement, I know, but not that way. It was the creepish, I know. So if you hear that at all during the broadcast and like, is Dan okay? It just got weird. Then that it got strange. It got freakishly odd in that moment. That's where it comes from. So if somebody says, oh, Syracuse is 6-2 and they look really strong, and I go, I know. That's where that is from. So that was a test. So if you have a word or a phrase that you would like me to use on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora this week, keep it tasteful, make it fun, and send it over. And I will do my best to bring it into the show in some way, shape, or form, which I'm very excited about and slightly nervous. So I look forward to having that with each and every single one of you. So we'll see what we have here and what we can do with this and see what you send over to me. And speaking of sending over, I'm sending over to you my conversations right now. Oh, Johnny would like me to use the term Bojangles. All right, so today's word is Bojangles, and I will do my best to work in Bojangles to the show. Coming up in just a moment here, Taj Harris, wide receiver of the Syracuse Orange, sharing with me after the team starts 6-2 and grabs a victory over NC State, who was ranked in the top 25, which got Syracuse ranked in both polls for the first time in 17 years. I asked him about the trick play that helped set up this victory. That trick play that I put out on social media even tricked me. I tagged Eric Dungy in it and said, shout out, Eric, because you got me on this one. And he got a lot of people. Faked the handoff to Dante Strickland. Dante Strickland rolls out to the left, gets wrapped up and taken down for seemingly no gain or a loss. As he's getting wrapped up, all of a sudden the ball comes flying out, and Taj Harris catches it. He got in front of his defender and goes in for a 30-yard touchdown. Here is Taj Harris's thoughts on that trick play.
At that moment, it was like pretty much, I just seen him rolling out towards me, and I knew he didn't pass the line of scrimmage, so I spent off the guy, and I just looked back to the ball, hoping he was throwing it, and he threw it.
When, plays like that, not just that play, but other trick plays, the one where Dungy pitched it out to Dante, and Dante sent it down the field to Sean Riley. Just what you can say about taking those chances, opening up the playbook a little bit on offense.
I feel like that just keep them on their toes. I feel like that keeps the defense honest and make sure like they're not coming down, blitzing hard, a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I feel like that just like opens up the game and it like keeps us rolling, make sure they're on their toes.
When Dungy, going back to your play, when he fakes that to Dante and they go over to Dante, they start to wrap him up and he rolls out. When that ball came up, just what you can say about where you were, because you had gotten spacing, you had what you needed to have. Just bring me into what you had to do in that play.
Yeah, I could tell by the the corner, he might have thought that Dungy was past the line of scrimmage, but as he seen me turn away, he tried to react, but it was just a little bit too late. And Dungy threw a good ball, especially being on the run, falling down. But I mean, it was a good ball, good snag.
Not just you, but Nykeem Johnson, Sean Riley, Jamal Custis, so many different guys getting involved. Just what you can say about the weapons on this team.
I mean, I said it before in one of my earlier interviews before. When everybody eats, it's just easy to roll. When everybody going, everybody making plays, it's hard to double team and bracket one person. So I feel like as long as everybody on their toes, it's hard to stop our offense.
When you have guys like Nykeem Johnson and Sean Riley, speedy guys, smaller guys, that just find ways to get to the ball, just what you can say about, I mean, they had big days today, and they continue to impress, just to speak on Riley and Johnson.
Yeah, Riley and Johnson, I mean, those guys, like, as you can see, some of the fastest guys on the team. And I mean, they keep us alive, really, man. They're explosive plays, down, I mean, drive after drive after drive, they come through for us. But I mean, those guys is great, man. Great upperclassmen.
You on one end, Custis on the other. Just what that does for this team and how maybe cheating a little bit toward him gives you that opportunity and vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we feed off each other, man. I mean, everybody on the offense, it's like one person going, everybody going. And, you know, we just make sure we encourage everybody to keep everybody's heads and level, because we know when we all together, it's hard to beat us.
This is your first season, but the team is bowl eligible at 6-2. You have more work to do, obviously, but knowing that you're bowl eligible, just what type of pressure that takes off the shoulders?
I mean, I expected that coming here. I could tell, like, in the summertime, the guys was around. I knew that we had something good spurring up. And I mean, as long as we stay on our toes, you know what I mean, stay head on swivel, I feel like we're going to do good, finish out strong.
How can you keep your focus? Coach said that he expects that you will celebrate accordingly and then be ready for practice moving forward. How do you celebrate this, but then stay focused and say, yeah, you're 6-2, but you don't want to lose another game, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, we just going to stick to what we've been doing, man. Tomorrow we right back at it, back in the meetings, back in everything. But, I mean, I just feel like as long as we just keep doing what we're doing and we don't change up, we're going to stay solid.
Lastly for me, DeVito and Dungy have been asked to both step up, especially recently. DeVito came in for one drive. Dungy went right back in. He was there for the whole second half. We've seen what DeVito can do last game, and then we saw Dungy take care of business. Just what you can say about having two explosive quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a blessing to have two great quarterbacks that any of them could play. And I mean, they're both great. I mean, I can tell over the summer, just working with the guys, I can tell, like, the dog. And they got, like, mentalities that a lot of people don't got, and they're very strong-willed. But I mean, that just helps our team, and it just keeps us strong. Having a crazy quarterback like Dungy, y'all see him play, man. I mean, he just keeps us on our toes, man. He keeps us going, really.
Thanks, Taj. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.